Good afternoon once again. Sorry for the technical problems that I've had getting the show started. First up on this afternoon's show, I'd like to announce that a new program will be starting here, and it's called Production and Technology. Now, I can't tell you what people's highlights were because they might be private and confidential, but I can certainly tell you that I am happy to do this job thanks to our manager here. Well, coming up this afternoon on the show, I'd like to talk about the importance of behaving appropriately at a sporting match, and this is what we opened the show with this morning. And to tell us more about that, behaving appropriately at the sporting matches, here's my offsider now. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Really important when you're at a sporting match because everyone's just there to have a good time and enjoy the game, aren't they?
Because there's absolutely no need to have a punch up at any sporting arena across Australia or around the world, because any game such as football, cricket, soccer, you name it, these games are there for everybody to enjoy. And another thing, do not invade the pitches or the football grounds because they are specifically for the players only. Here's my offsider now for this.
Yeah, it's important to stay in the spectators area, not to get in the way of the game.
Because if you invade the pitch, like the cricket or football pitch, there will be very big fines, and you don't want to be in trouble or evicted from the ground after you have paid good money to go to the game, such as football, cricket, you name it. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Barry.
So, the importance of behaving appropriately at a football match or a cricket match is very important because the game is there to enjoy. The games are played for everyone to enjoy. That includes parents with children and grandparents, etc. And on the subject of games, the cricket season is not too far off either. In October, that's when the cricket season will start. Now, later on in the spring series, I will be talking about cricket and why it's important to behave appropriately at a cricket match, whether it's at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the Gabba, the Wacker. Well, it's not called the Wacker anymore. It was called the Western Australian Cricket Association, and Bellerive Oval. So normally when the cricket season starts, they usually play out at Bankstown Oval or North Sydney Oval. So I will be talking about cricket next month during my spring shows, or during the show, because the spring show has already commenced. So right now it is time to talk about what we spoke about last week. You may recall last week I brought up a video about writing letters to staff, and we opened the show this morning about that, plus touching people on the feet inappropriately and giving the staff hugs and kisses, etc. We finished the show on how to run a syntypes case staff meeting. Here's my offsider for this.
Yeah, we covered quite a lot there, didn't we, Barry?
That we sure did. So, just going over those points with you once again, please don't touch the staff on the feet, clients, because it is harassment and you don't know how long the staff's feet have been in the shoes. And speaking of shoes, we did mention shoes on the show last week. You can only take them off if you are assisting with someone in the pool. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, shoes are very important. Work health safety, aren't they?
So, shoes. We can't show you them on screen, but they must be worn at all times, and especially during the summer months. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, even though it gets quite warm and we might be tempted to wear maybe open-toe shoes or sandals and thongs, it's still important that we wear safe shoes to work.
It doesn't matter what the staff do when they are off duty. They can do what they like. It's not up to us or management. So, these are the things that we did cover on the show last week. Well, to finish the show this week, we've got a little gardening surprise for you, and we're going to be finishing the show a little differently this afternoon. So if you're a garden enthusiast and you love gardening, well, this segment is just for you about gardening. So that will be coming up towards the end of the show. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, stay tuned for the special gardening section. I'm quite excited about it.
Because gardening during spring and summer, and also, before I forget, daylight saving. Now, it is coming up too next month, in 4 weeks, so instead of it being, what time is it now?
1:35.
1:35, it will be 2:35. So Eastern Standard Daylight Saving Summertime, everybody. So we will be talking a bit about daylight saving as well this afternoon on the show. And that is our next topic on the show coming up right now. daylight saving. We all love daylight saving, don't we? Yes. And what is daylight saving? Well, daylight saving is when we switch the clocks forward 1 hour, and daylight saving starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. So instead of it being 1:35 like it is now, it will be 2:35. So we get extra light in the evening, and we can have our dinner outside, have a barbecue with some mates. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And going down to the beach to after work or after a hot summer day, grab your dogs, and take them for a walk. Have some fish and chips and watch the sun setting over the horizon. Here's my offsider.
You just described a perfect afternoon.
And what better way to enjoy daylight saving, having fish and chips in the extra sunlight in the evening? What better way to end a working week and bring on the weekend and enjoy a balmy night? Well, like I promised, I've got that gardening segment for you coming up right now, and a bit of sun-safe advice too. So a big end to today's show coming up. You've been watching Barry Fair, the Tuesday Wrap with Barry Fair. And right now we're just about to take you out into the garden to tell you about it. This is our veggie garden here. Now most of the garden has died because of no water, but over here we have some eggplant. Now who loves eggplant? So if you're a gardening expert, do your gardening early in the morning, because in the middle of the day it will be too hot to do it, and water your garden early in the morning so that your plants don't get too hot or scorched. And during the hot summer months, do your gardening when it's nice and cool in the morning before it really gets too hot. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, that's good as well, because if you're watering them in the morning, they'll be able to take in all of that water before it starts to disappear in the heat.
And even do your gardening like straight after breakfast on a Saturday or Sunday, but be aware of the weather conditions as well. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's a lovely way to start the day, getting outside into the garden, and you know that it's not going to be too hot just yet. Better than the middle of the day when that gets very scorching hot.
So right now I'm gonna get my offsider to swing the camera around so I can show you the veggie patch. And like I've said, that is eggplant just there. But this garden is pretty, but as much as we love it, it needs to be water. And like I said earlier on, we can't use our hoses because of the drought. Let's think of the poor farmers in there, out there. Well, we're finishing the show outside too this afternoon. And to finish off the show today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the importance of planning your trip properly. Now, firstly, you must have a good car and a good set of tires as well. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, if you're going for a road trip, it's always good to get your car checked out before you head off. You don't want any accidents.
And also get it serviced as well, and don't leave it until the last minute, because the last thing that you want to have happen, okay, is your tires going bang, or you going bang straight up the back of someone, or they can go bang straight up you. And you don't want your trip ending up in a hospital, or you don't want to end your trip up in a hospital before it begins. So rule one, make sure that you have a sturdy roof rack to put your canoes on, or your surfboards, and your tent. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, you've got to have a sturdy roof rack to hold all of your gear on, ready for your adventuring.
And make sure that you have a spare tire and lots of tools to change the tire with, such as your spare hubs and stuff like that. Okay? And have a good bumper bar to put a bag on for all your tools, and don't store your water in glass bottles. What would you store your water in?
Maybe you can get those refillable, I don't know if they're plastic, but they're refillable big 10-litre water tubs, possibly. That could be handy.
And make sure that you have a good, make sure that you have a good drinking bowl for the dog. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, very important. If you've got dogs with you, keep them hydrated so they can run along with you the whole time.
So, and also have a basket with you, okay, that you can store under the bonnet. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, that sounds like a very handy idea, Barry.
Okay, and don't overload your roof rack, because you could have a rollover. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, the last thing you want is it to end up rolled over and in an accident because you've loaded up your roof racks too much or they're not done properly.
And make sure everything is secure on the back of your four-wheel drive. And make sure that you have a pump to pump your bed up onto, and have something appropriate for the summer and the winter and summer months. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, because if you're going on the road, you don't know where you could end up. It's good to be prepared for all weather conditions.
And consider the conditions of the road too. Here's my offsider.
Very important to consider the roads you'll be driving on to make sure that you're fully prepared.
So if you've got the drawers in the back of your four-wheel drive, it's important to have canned food, okay? Make sure that the cans are not broken. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, having canned food you can eat whenever you need. Good access food if you end up in the middle of nowhere.
And make sure that you store your items securely in the back of the four-wheel drive. Don't just have them willy-nilly all over the place. Because if you're going over rough roads and you've got eggs in that, the eggs could fall off and crack, and that's the last thing you want to have happen here. Here's my offside.
Yeah, things could get real messy if you leave things rolling about.
And make sure that you have your sleeping bag and tent tied up securely with ropes. Because if you've got a trailer on the back, it's important that you tie it securely with ropes. Whatever you've got on the back of the trailer, and secure it tightly with ropes. Here's my offside.
Yeah, you don't want to lose any of your belongings along the road. If you're on bumpy roads, you could turn up to your spot and not have your tent or your sleeping gear, and that would not be very good.
And make sure that you have enough petrol to get to and from your destination, and spark plugs and all that you need if you need to fix something, and never put petrol in ice cream containers because it can expand and explode. Here's my offsider.
Wow, that I did not know, Barry. That's an interesting point.
And if you need to carry your fuel not on the seat, okay? Because the child could get at it. So where would you put your spare petrol, Anna?
It's a good question. I'd say probably towards the back of the car. Have a secure spot where it won't be moving around too much.
What about in the boot?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, Barry.
So always carry a jerry can, one with a lid. So when you're going shopping, ask about fuel cans, the spare petrol. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, know your stuff before you go and be prepared.
And have maps with you also. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, maps are very important. Great way to track where you're going.
And work out the times that you are going to go, which direction you're heading, and what time you plan to reach your destination by nightfall. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's good to think ahead and possibly let some other people around you know where you'll be roughly, so that if anything happens, there's people thinking about you.
And communication too is always important. So if you've got someone else in a four-wheel drive with someone else, two-way radio communication is always important here. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's great for if you need anything or you need to let the person behind you know what's up ahead, or if you just want to have a good old chat.
So, and always have a chainsaw with you in case you need to move the tree that's blocking the track so that you can open the track for everyone else. Here's my offside.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to come across on some of these tracks, so it's good to be prepared. You might be chopping down some trees that have fallen.
And don't forget to cancel the milk and the grocery order before you go. It might also be a good idea to carry or take foods that won't be perishable, like some bread, some baked beans, spaghetti. And if you have a Waco, like you see in the four-wheel drive videos, you can have one of those installed, and that way it keeps everything cool, like your milk, your bread, etc.